3. I'm going to start at verse 18, which the point is 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear. And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Chakadosh B'Katham. I want to say double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone who do teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwath out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. It's the brother Yahweh Sop, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and through the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Yahweh meaning he is, he exists, or he to be. By Hashem is in the name. Baz in has the Hashem his name. Yahushai meaning he saves, or he deliverer. True names of the Most High God and the Son, who you ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ, but through the Spirit and the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, we know the name being Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. And pretty much this lesson was inspired through the Spirit by the beloved elder Apostle Tahar, through another spiritual alley hoop. And I ain't heard nobody make mention of it yet. And, trying to stay in the spirit of, the times we in, and just the spirit period, because I was listening to the elder brother Atazawan from Atlanta. He was going into Jake pretty much is low in the spirit, and usually I be low in the spirit, so I pray the Lord with me when, because that's part of this truth as well, the spiritual highs and lows, it's part of the refinement, the chastisement, the spiritual fire, and it's fitting because it said buying gold that was tried in the fire, which that gold, we the men that believe in this truth, the hopeful elect, the ones that's going to endure to the end, they are considered as fine gold, like the gold of Ophir. But it's spiritual because I wasn't thinking about it till I just started to open up the lesson, and it popped in my spirit. I was reading my children the book of Tobit, and as many times as I read the book of Tobit, the first brother that really broke it down, to the point where he knew, like, who was this, who was that, he just pretty much went over the account. And, at that time, I didn't know. I'll never forget, because me and the young brother stayed together. In the spirit, I was the youngest brother. I mean, Salaki, the slip of the tongue went out of the heart. He was the youngest brother in the camp. I'm the oldest. And we basically, with the Passover, we both got parts to play in that. So I decided, damn, I just thought about something through the spirit. Ain't that something? Huh. Because we changed the Passover this year. You know what I'm saying? Like how we normally do it. Because the Lord did something that, damn, I just thought about all that. Salakia, I'm going to have to meditate on that. But Salakia, so pretty much, like I say, through the spirit, because he had a part to play in the youngest man and the oldest man. So I was like, through the spirit, spirit jumped on me to go ahead and, because he was trying to find a spot. And I don't think nobody else is trying to move anymore. He, to try and make it easier for a brother, because, a lot of brothers stay with one another, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. The good thing about the young brother, he was always, kept the spirit within the house. He always wanted brothers over doing lessons, doing certain stuff. But then the age gap did play a huge role in certain stuff, because Jake being so young, how Jake is. I mean, I was like that. Brother said something one time. He was like, younger brothers never listen to their older brothers. And it cut the shit out of me. Because I'm like, damn, he right. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really get mad. I was hurt by certain things, and that was me being emotional. But I was offended by, how can I say it? Just, you can't really get offended if one man chooses or desires to partake or spend more time with a particular brother. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, that brother and that brother's closer. What you can get offended about is if, because like I heard the elder brother Murph make the statement. He said he might not like every brother, but he die for any one of them. So meaning he love every brother, and that's a hell of a statement to make. So if you do one thing for one brother, you're supposed to do it for all of them. And you know, when you start second guessing and questioning that, that's scary. You know what I'm saying? So when I made the statement I made, you know, but anyhow, I'm all over the place. But point being, you know, the spot we had pretty much, brother broke it down, and I've read Tobit. I mean, like I've read the complete scriptures, you know, from front to back, including the Apocrypha. But do I retain or do I have all the breakdowns? Probably not. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So with that being said, I was reading the book of Tobit to my children because I tried to start with Judges and they couldn't, you know, they couldn't get into it. You know, so I got Tobit and they into it. Like they literally like, uh, you know, can you read the scriptures to me? And I'm gonna be honest. A lot of times I got to wake up and read them because that's how tired I am. You know what I mean? Usually, like the brother said, it ain't the girls, it's the boys because they trying to emulate their father. But you know, my daughter's like, hey, can you read me the stories? But they also, you know, for whatever reason, you know, it's just deep. I see how the Lord be working with my daughter sometimes. But anyhow, but they also try me too. So it's just all around spiritual. But I was reading to them the book of Tobit, and when you sitting back and really like digesting and think about it, I was like, damn, it's deep because I got it today. As many times as I read it, you know, pretty much you had Tobit and Sarah, which my daughter's name is Sarah. You know what I mean? It's Sarah, but her mother tweaked it. So anyhow, long story short, Sarah and well, Tobin and Sarah both was going through things, and they prayed to the Most High, and the Most High pretty much sent Raphael, you know, an angel to deliver them both. So you know, Sarah's basically gonna get her husband, and you know, Tobit needed the money, and he needed you know, his eyes, he was blinded, and the angel it was just deep to me because you know, I know brothers probably broke it down and got it so much easier. Sometimes I'm a spiritual dullard, you know, but at the same time, it's just like, damn, that's deep because their prayer, you know what I mean? They pray and the Lord sent them deliverance. That's how powerful prayer is. And we know that first and foremost or firsthand because we pray. That's why the elders, you know, like the beloved elder apostle Recha always talks about praying. And I know I don't pray enough. What I'm trying to get into the mindset and the spirit of is if it's just me talking to the Lord, just, you know, telling what I'm going through or how I feel or anything, you know what I mean? You know, I've done it when I had to be in a box. So why not do it, you know, when you got freedom? And there really ain't no excuse for it, you know what I mean? You got bugged out Muslims that pray 3 times a day, you know, the ones that's sincere and elites. So, Salakia for that.
Strong's G 2854, Kalurian.
And it made me think about it.
Thayer's Lexicon, related entry. Kalurian.
And it made me think about it because, again, remember, Tobit went blind. But the Lord restored his sight. And you could kind of look at it like, you know, with the elect. Because we were blind to this world, you know. But then when we were given the breath of life, you know, we got that spiritual eye salve, you know, which is deep. And, you know, and the inspiration or the, you know, what the elder said was, I believe he said these people in this world, eyes are wide shut. And they are. And if you don't have this spiritual eye salve, if you don't have this truth, your eyes gonna remain shut to what's going on in the world for you to pretty much be destroyed. Because ultimately, if the Lord got your eyes shut or you're blinded, he pretty much wants to destroy you. This is the book that says biblical usage and preparation composed of various materials and used as a remedy for tender eyes. It says neuter of a presumed derivative, properly a poultice, or in the form of crackers. So it says, I counsel thee to buy me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, which is, I believe probably represents this truth, you know. that thou mayest be clothed, because we clothed with the truth. While you got these other philosophies and these other camps with different doctrines that's pretty much, you know, because white represents pure. And a purity, something pure, it can't have any contamination at all. So if your doctrine doesn't line up 100%, then it's not pure. And that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve that thou mayest see. So we see the way the world's headed, what's going on. We see what these devils have planned and plotted. And that's probably why they about to make the move on the prophets. I wanted to get 2 Thessalonians, but I done did too much of a commentary, that because ultimately, I might just bring it out, because how did that happen? Because ultimately, for those that don't have the eye salve, they're going to fall for the strong delusion, and they're going to believe a lie. So, when you go into the scriptures, individuals not being able to see is all throughout the scriptures, in the Old Testament and the New. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5 and verse 20. Declare this in the house of Jacob and publish it in Judah, saying, hear now this, O foolish people. That's the spirit too, called Loyum Layah, because I used to get frustrated at that scam call, but all my scam calls usually be 1440. Call Loyum Layah. Hear now this, O foolish people. And the scriptures tell you, I think in Jeremiah chapter 4, it talks about sottish children, meaning stupid, because they're not going to hearken and they're going to refuse to come back onto the power, until Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, they're going to refuse to come back to their power. And that's foolish and stupid. Hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, because our people don't have any understanding. That's what, when you listen to a lot of the Elder Apostles videos, the beloved Elder Apostle Torah, he go like, these Christians don't got it. They don't have no understanding of it. Like he said, you got that guy, Antoine Johnson, or whatever the fuck his name is, Salakia, Antoine whatever, or Davis, or whatever his name is, Anton Davis, but long story short, they're thinking that Babylon the Great, aka America, got it, that this is the place, this is the heaven on earth and all this shit. Like, he refuses to call himself an Israelite, but he'll call himself a Christian. But it tells you the Israelites began to call themselves Christians in the scriptures, you know what I mean? So in order to be a Christian, you had to be an Israelite. That going over his head, because he lacks understanding. And more than likely, he's going to be destroyed. At least he repent. It says, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. Fear ye not me, saith the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And these people don't fear the Lord. But the scriptures tell you, fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail? Scriptures call Jacob a worm. What is mere man? Did you just hear what I read? The Lord said, I placed a boundary from the sand to the water, where the water can't go. That's why the water doesn't just overtake the land, because the Lord does all that. But pretty soon, the Lord is going to, he's going to pull back his mercy, because that's an act of mercy. Just imagine, I did a video about that. It was somewhere in Spain. I know I did a video on it. Elder Manata Zakba did a video on it. And when I did it, I think they said it was like 800 people dead. When the elder did it, it was like 230 people dead, or something along the lines, over 200 people. They said that area in Spain pretty much got a year's worth of rain in one day. And you don't fear the Lord? Yet can they not prevail, though they roar? Yet can they not pass over it? But this people have a revolting and a rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone. Neither say they in their heart, let us now fear the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, our power that giveth rain. That's the spirit, both the former and the latter. In his season, he reserves unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest. And these people was not going to begin to fear until the Lord opened up with his judgment. Every time something happens, that's when these people want to question. Like right now, you know, and the scriptures talk about how the Lord's Spirit going to pour out over all flesh. And the elders made mention of the Bible sales being increased. You know, I made mention of that because I said it's a scripture to talk about, you know, the Lord pretty much is not going to give his glory to another. Everybody's going to know that the Lord is doing this, you know, before the end of it. The scriptures say that the Lord's pretty much, he's going to pour out his Spirit on everybody. People are in search, the people are anticipating it or anxious because you can literally feel, you know, that something's about to take place. They said the two most things being purchased and sold right now are Bibles and guns. And it's so deep because the Bible pretty much translates to you looking for salvation from something beyond you. And a gun basically means that you think you could take salvation in your own hands. And it's kind of comical because if you were Edomite, you'd be better off getting that gun, which is your true blessing. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 6 and verse 10. And it says, come on. I'm going to start at verse 8, Isaiah 6 and 8. Also I heard the voice of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. So that was Isaiah speaking. You know, because when you go into this chapter at the beginning, it tells you how pretty much the Elohim, the angels pretty much, you know, pretty much put the Spirit of the Lord in his mouth. I believe they put the Hakol. I think this is the children. Right. He said, because when you go up, he said he had unclean lips, and then they put the live coal in his hand, which he had taken tongues from the altar, and he laid it upon my mouth. Verse 9, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, showing you that you can't make yourself a prophet. You have to be chosen. You know, it's one thing to be called, but few, you know, all the prophets were chosen. That's why we know of these great men today. Make the heart of this people fat. Even Judas Iscariot, he was chosen to be that vessel to betray the Messiah. And that's deep, you know what I mean? When you take the time to think about it. And he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not. See ye indeed, but receive not. Verse 10, make the heart of this people fat, and make their eyes heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. So you really think, you know, that's all of Israel. The Lord doesn't want to save all of Israel. So for those that say that pretty much, you know, they don't believe in the doctrine of the 2/3 being destroyed, it just tell you that. If the Lord was coming to save everybody, why does the scripture say least? It says, and understand with their heart and convert and be healed. Least they see with their eyes and hear with their heart. So the Lord purposely blinded them so they can't get it, so they can be judged. You know, I was listening to, I believe it was today that the beloved elder Apostle Tahar said that he said, you got to understand, they had heavy spirit of Satan on them because you had the Messiah right in front of their presence and they couldn't even see it. Just like these people are spiritually blinded now. You know what I'm talking about when we out on the highways and hedges, you might spend 30 minutes talking to Jake. You know, now the day when vocab came, you know, and the one brother, Kazak from, I think he's from Indiana. He's from Cleveland, but he went to Indiana and now he's back in Cleveland, just through the Spirit. He, you know, because the way that they did it on some, it was real spiritual. And I got a whole bunch of like assumptions or, you know, through the Spirit, what I believe as a man or whatever, you know, but, you know, they never approached our camp. But I noticed people watching us, and I'm like, what the fuck? So by the time, you know, before we end the camp, we all meet up in one particular spot. So as we walking up, we see, you know, crowds of people basically like converging on the camp. You know, and then as soon as we walk up, we see vocab. So, you know, the brothers like in our camp, well, me and the head brother in that camp, you know, that brother, the brother Yaquam, we both post up and get in, you know, we get into, you know, formation ready to get on the line and battle. But it was so chaotic, you know, you really couldn't really like could get a word in because vocab got a bullhorn, you know, he was really being a demon. But like the brother said, And the brother said that, but the elder said that too. He said everybody that he had following him pretty much went back in the world, or they're no longer doing that. But the brother said it was like when they was breaking down the scriptures to him, it was like how the scriptures talk about the seed being sown, but it pretty much like when they was breaking it down, pretty much vocab had to come back around and like try to cut what was said. It was like this, I could only imagine what he really seen and what took place there. But it was very high level spiritual, So just imagine that though. Like you dealing with trying to convert a Jake, a 2/3 nigga. Well, just imagine the demons that was on people when Yahushua, when they basically crucified him. And you got to remember, that was our people. So, of course, the 2/3 will never get it. They're not going to be healed until they receive the kingdom. When they come back in the loins of the elect. It's the book of Acts. Well, I mean, and this is just a repeat of, because I think this is Paul repeating what was just said in Isaiah, Jeremiah. This is all throughout the scriptures. This is the book of Matthew chapter 20. So like this is the book of Matthew chapter 13 and verse 9, and it reads, "Who hath ears to hear, let him hear." Verse 10, "And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables?" Verse 11, "He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given." Verse 12, "For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance, but whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath." Verse 13, "Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand." So ultimately, it's not for them because they're not of the elect. So I hope I did this lesson a little bit of justice. Again, the beloved elder apostle Tahar inspired this lesson through the Spirit. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of your power, whose true name in the biblical Hebrew is Yahweh, meaning he exists, by Hashem, meaning in the name, Yahushua, meaning he saves, or he delivered, the true names of the Most High God and the Son, who you ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ, but whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua. And with that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Elohim La Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, with this wicked thumb. Say double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone who do teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aquat that they're listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till the next time I'm able to come with another lesson, say shalom, shalom, kwam yasharallah, mawat lababal, shalom.